This time it has to do with the trillions of dollars of profits earned by American corporations, led by the names like Apple, Google, and so on, that they've earned on foreign activities, or at least what they can claim are activities abroad. Under American tax law, if you earn money on activities abroad and you don't bring it back to the United States, you don't have to pay taxes on it. You can keep it in an account overseas. And so they have enormous accounts, literally hundreds of billions of dollars, when you add them up over a trillion, of money that is kept in accounts overseas by these big corporations. Now let's be real clear. That denies to the United States the taxes on that profit that these companies are escaping. That means hundreds of billions of dollars the United States government does not have to help people with their social needs, to help students who need loans, to help maintain our infrastructure, to develop our schools and medical facilities. You get it. We don't have that money because we permit those corporations to escape their taxes. The same corporations, having not paid the taxes we need and they should have on their profits, they claim that we ought to give them a tax holiday. We ought to let them bring the money back without having to pay taxes, because look at the wonderful benefits we'll all have when that money comes back into the United States, the implication being it will then be used by these companies to hire people, to expand production. In other words, suddenly, for the good of the country, having not paid the taxes they should have for years, they should be rewarded by being allowed to bring that money back without ever paying any of the taxes that they should have paid all along. That's really what they're proposing. Those same corporations who are holding hundreds of billions of dollars in foreign accounts to avoid paying taxes on them have wanted to take that money, not to use it to increase production, not to use it to hire people. They've wanted to use it to pay higher salaries to their top executives and to pay out dividends to the investors who own their shares. And they found a way to do it. These companies have used the piles of cash that they have in foreign accounts by going to local banks here in the United States and borrowing roughly 70% of all the money that they have sitting in those foreign accounts. They borrowed them in this country, saying to themselves, look, it's cheaper for us to pay very low interest rates on these huge loans, 1%, 2%, because we're saving all the taxes we would otherwise have to pay if we brought that money home. So we can borrow the money here in the United States, and what do they use it for? To pay higher salaries to their top executives and to buy back shares of their stock from their investors. In other words, they distributed it to their executives and to their shareholders, so that if they bring that money back the way they now claim we should be allowed to do without paying taxes, you know what they're going to have to do with it? They're going to have to pay back the loans to the banks. There's not going to be any money to hire millions of people. It's all a fraud. They have used the way finance works to borrow here in the United States the money that they needed to take care of who they take care of, executives and shareholders and investors, so that when that money finally comes back, it'll just be used to pay off the debts. We know what they're going to do with it because they already did that. This is a fundamental demonstration that to take seriously the arguments for corporate tax cuts is to be gullible and to be at the play of the people who are running this system for their own immediate benefit. End of story.